Welcome to the hot seat coaching session. I will be, yours truly, Sarah Pappas, by the way, will be coaching to the Great Eight, to the four cornerstones of success and the four keys to a successful week. We start with our symmetry introduction, your full name, where you're from, and like what agency you're in. Let's start off with the symmetry introduction and then we'll dive in. Is it Katie Gordon? Katie,
Yes,
did
it
you?
is.
Okay, let's go ahead and get you on here. Hey, Katie, good to see you.
Hi, how are you?
Good, thank you. Whoa, is this your first time in the hot seat?
This is officially my first time in the hot seat with you, but I do attend a lot of your calls.
I've seen you on here before, yes, but welcome to the hot seat. Congratulations
Thanks.
for getting in there. That's so wonderful. So let's start with your symmetry intro.
So my name is Sarah Gordon. I go by Katie. I'm direct to Debbie and Dave Woods and the Summers Agency, direct to Kevin Purdy.
Okay, cool. All right, and then how long have you been with symmetry?
I have officially been with Symmetry a year as of like 2 weeks ago.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, well, what brings you into the hot seat, Katie?
So I'm here because I am at a point in my career here where I feel like I am not getting the ROI that I should be fulfilling and should be getting, and where I'm at, the leads that I'm working and things of that nature. Um, it's hard because my spouse, I call him my spouse, but my fiance, really believed in me and saw the potential in this in the beginning, but I feel like that's slowly fading because of the ROI and me being able to help support. It's not really there.
Why do you think that is? Let me ask it a different way. Do you mind? And do I have your permission to coach you?
Yes, 100%.
Okay, so you've been like a year in, your husband was like super on board with this, with like, yeah, let's go, Katie. And you obviously had some success with this, yes?
hmm
But now you're like, hey, I'm not getting this ROI. Can you explain actually like what that is like to you or what the actual what that looks like for you?
Yeah, just to kind of give you a little bit of a breakdown to kind of help just in regard to like the coaching and the feedback that you give me, which I'm 100% open to. My first 2 months, I hit SNA in my first 2 weeks being here.
Okay.
I thrived. I did great. My first year was great, up until May. May, I actually got into an accident and I fractured my leg. I had emergency surgery on Memorial Day and then got sent home with rods and pins sticking out of my leg and had another surgery on June 3rd. I did go to national conference in
Remember.
Colorado. I was in a wheelchair and I was fully there, fully present. But I was producing up until May. May I had nothing. July I had nothing. In September I had nothing. So it really kind of took some time for me to really kind of be put back in my place, per se, of saying, look, this is your business. Because I had lost the mindset that I was doing this for myself, and I felt like I was more so doing this for someone else. So
When you say, what does that mean when you say you were doing this for someone else? Who was that?
I more so felt like I was doing this for, like, just as an example. I felt like I was doing this more for Scott and Kelly more than I was myself, and I just knew I would eventually get paid in the back. And me getting paid in the back was obviously me writing policies and them being enforced and things like that. Until I kind of had to have a good book that I read and to kind of have a kind of good punch in the gut of a coaching session that I had with a coworker, saying, look, you're doing this for yourself. Like, you need to get out of your headspace and get out of the mindset that you have and realize, like, this is your business and this is your agency that you're wanting to build.
Well, how would you describe your mindset when you first got started? You hit SNA and you had some really good months. Like what was that? What was that all about?
That was great. It was great, honestly. I mean, I still love what I do. I mean, I love my motto for my agency. Like, I'm fully committed. Right now, I think the biggest issue for me is timing and really consistently following my schedule. And every time we write a policy, every time we get paid, it's automatically being reimbursed into my business so I can continue doing that. But I feel like as I'm doing it, it's very little that I'm able to actually contribute like to my family because I'm constantly reimbursing into my business.
Mm-hmm. And when you say your family, is it like, do you have kids? You mentioned your husband, yes?
So my fiance has a
Okay.
5-year-old son. He is medically disabled because he was actually born at 25 weeks. So he has a G tube, he has a PIC line. And my highest producing months were actually when him and his son, my soon-to-be stepson Brett, were in the hospital for 3 months at Children's National in DC. Um, and I was home by
Does he live with you
myself.
guys?
We did have primary custody, but now it's 50-50, so it's week on, week off.
They were gone for like 3 months, yes? And this was
Yeah, it
obviously like before May, before the leg
Oh
thing,
yeah,
yeah?
it was the end of January to the end of March last year. So it was
And so you
literally
had
as soon
focused
as I
time.
started.
But the cool thing is you had focused time to like learn some skills,
Hmm.
right? Like
Yeah.
you've got some skills. You know some underwriting, you know how to set some appointments. You got some skills here. What was the reason that brought you into the business in the first place, Katie?
I worked in the medical field previously, and then after the medical field, I went to Geico. I was really there for the money. I was at Geico for 4.5 years, and then my last 6 months, I had to take a leave of absence because I had to get neurosurgery.
Okay.
And they wanted me to come back 2 weeks later, and I was like, yeah, y'all are funny. I was like, that's not gonna happen. And honestly, they're very system based. I
Mm-hmm.
felt like I know I have more potential that I can give to people.
And so you're like, hey, I could do this on my own. I don't need
Yeah.
some other person to be like cracking the whip on me. I can crack the whip on myself.
No. Yeah, yeah, for sure. So,
So, what is the reason that's kept you in the business? Now you got through, by the way, congratulations on getting through your first year. It's the toughest year. Only 8% of agents who get their license and get contracted actually make it to their first year. So, kudos to you, Katie. What's keeping you in the business?
so I'm sticking around because of my why. And my why and my heart and the amount of love that I have for what I do. Is really what's been keeping me here. I love my job and I love what I do and the reason why I'm here. And I mean, I don't mind sharing because I'm completely open about it. But before I turned one until I was 7, oh no, I'm sorry, until I was 5.5, I was sexually abused and molested by my biological father and my half brother.
Mm.
And I was put on the stand at 7 years old as a victim with a
Oh,
courtroom that was filled front to back with Fox 5 News and so many different news stations.
wow.
And I am here because everything that I've been through in my life, I know that I'm here, and that's why I have the heart the size of the world and would take the shirt off of my back and give it to someone because I'm here to help people at the end of the day. And I want to be a positive impact on anyone's life that I can
Mm,
enter or encounter. And that's literally what's on my business card, that I'm committed to making a positive impact on everyone I have the opportunity to serve
love
because
that.
that's what I've been through, and I want people to know that there is positive people out there.
Thank you for sharing that. I imagine that it's not an easy thing to share, and I can only envision that precious and scared and beautiful 7-year-old child who had to get in front of the entire world
Yeah.
to do something really hard. So the other thing is, Katie, like you can do really hard things. You're not just a survivor, you're a thriver and you're a giver backer. You
Yeah.
know, like you can do really hard things. Okay, so here's what we say in this business, Katie. We say the first year in the business, you learn about yourself.
Hmm.
Okay, there's lessons. If you were to look back on your first year, I'm sure you're gonna think of like a lot of things that have happened, including we're gonna talk about this leg break, that things that have happened that are gonna put you face to face with you. And I love what you learned because I think you just summed it up. You learned that this is important to you, that this is a really great way for you to give back and make an impact, a positive impact on other people. And you get to do it on your own. You get to own your own time and you get to be your own boss. And you don't have to have Geico or anybody else telling you what you can do or what you can't do,
Hmm.
right?
Especially with having a stepson who is special needs medically. He's still at home. He's not in school yet. So there's a lot with that too, and that's why I love the flexibility and being able to control my own business.
Yep. The first year of the business, you learn about yourself. The second year, you actually learn the business. And the third year in the business, you actually really explode. That's where you see people who start from scratch, like you and I both did, right? At some point, you start from scratch and then you get to agency owner. Usually it's somewhere around the third year. Okay.
Okay.
It doesn't mean it can't happen sooner. I'm just saying there's like a lot of stuff that happens, growth that happens. You'll become an agency owner when you become an agency owner. Okay.
Everyone's journey is different. I think I'm too hard on myself because on the track that I was going, I should have been at 100% right now, and I'm not.
Well,
And
don't
I
should
think
all over
I'm too
yourself.
hard on myself.
Yes. Don't shoot all over yourself. We're not
Yeah.
gonna do that. I think a lot of people they don't understand what it takes to actually run your own business. It's a lot. Number one, you gotta show up every day with a positive mindset. You gotta have relentless optimism. You gotta have faith that this is gonna work out. You gotta trust in your abilities. You've gotta show up consistently. These are all mindset. There's a reason why Tony Robbins says that business is like, I think he says 80% mindset and 20% actually doing it. I want to go so far as to say it's like 99% mindset and 1% actually doing it, you know? But the actually doing it is so important, okay?
Hmm.
Because at the end of the day, nobody's going to go anywhere without helping a family. So cool. You've just been through your first year. You had a really interesting thing happened that took you out of the business for a minute, you know? And these are the actual things why people look back and they say, man, now I know why I want to grow a team. It's not just like, oh, it's all dependent on me. If I break my leg and I can't show up for work, my income just dried up. But if you had
Hmm.
a team, see, I think you have leadership abilities. I think you've had leadership abilities probably since you were asked to take a leadership role at the age of 7.
Hmm.
I
I've
think,
I have had a lot of leadership roles and
right?
responsibilities in my life. Between, me practically raising my sister, she's 16 now, and in school, in the medical field, I mean, you name it. I did have a lot of leadership, jobs, roles, positions. I definitely know that me staying engaged and having the team that I have with the Summers agency, with, everyone that's there, me staying engaged and me still plugging in and being on all of the calls when I wasn't producing was definitely beneficial and was helpful not only for my mindset, but also for me to say I can still do this.
Mhm.
Versus if you break your leg, like you said, at any other place, you're not working.
Right. So what are you doing to grow your agency?
Recruiting has not been on my radar, and I have learned over the past couple of days that I need to kind of go back into that. So I did. I actually shared the plan with about 22 people in the last week. Three of them I have set interviews with that actually are this week before a line, which I'm flying out for on Saturday. So, I mean, I just started kind of dabbling back into recruiting. I felt like I needed to more so focus on production right now.
To me, I feel like you are the poster child for why you want to build a team. And the cool thing is, like, you have enough skills to be able to help a new agent. You don't really need a lot of skills to help a new agent through the onboarding process. And, people think, oh, I need to wait till I'm successful before I do this. But if you can pick up the phone and make a dial, you can help a new agent do the same thing, get to that point where they can do the same thing, right?
Hmm.
My company just informed me that we're hiring part-time and full-time agents. Message me if you're interested. If you send that out to everybody in your contacts in your phone, if you send that out to everybody that you're Facebook friends with, use Messenger. The person that shared that with me wrote $3 million in 1 year on one leg from that text alone.
Wow.
Okay? It takes some guts to get out of your comfort zone because your
Hmm.
brain is going to start screaming at you. Who says you can build a team? Look what happened to you. Look at the shit show you just went through the last 6 months. Like, who does it? But the truth is, you're a leader and your desire to help people is going to absolutely come to fruition with this opportunity. Like, this is a perfect opportunity for you to really make a difference in people's lives, right? And so if you get out of your comfort zone and you just like turn your brain off and you text that out to everybody that you know, I promise that you're going to be doing all kinds of show the plans.
Yeah, I'm definitely not shy. Kristen Blankenship can tell you that.
I love
Kristen
that.
Blankenship and I yeah, we're really close. She could tell you I'm not a shy bean at all. And that's actually where I made the post was actually on a local group where I live, on Facebook as well as next door. And that's where I got those 22 people. And I've, worked my warm market and things like that, but I'm not gonna, let that necessarily close the door on building because I want to build. I want to build. I love, the
You need
aspect
to
of it.
build. Like you saw firsthand like why you need to build. Like
Hmm.
last year and you got, if you have to take some time off to take your son to the hospital, you want to know that you've got a team that's still working. I can
Right.
literally remember like my first override. I like was so excited. I was like $80. But I was like, "Oh my gosh, $80 just landed in my bank account and I did not do a thing to
Right.
make that happen." I mean, except for of course like I helped them through onboarding, but they are the ones that bought the lead and made the appointment and ran the appointment and wrote the app, helped a family. So I was so excited. I was like, okay, oh my God, how many, like, how can I do this over and over and over again? I can also remember the first time I took a vacation and ended up with more money in my bank account than when I left for family vacation.
Wow.
Like,
That would be such a good
cool, right?
feeling.
Like, amazing feeling, right? So we're not going to beat ourselves up over I should be this or I should be that or I shouldn't. Stop shoulding all over yourself. Let's get a mindset of like, here's what needs to happen. You're heading into year two. You are already ahead of 92% of the agents out there. Okay? So be consistent on doing your production, but be doubly consistent on building that team because they deserve to have a leader like you, Katie.
That means a lot. Thank you, Sarah.
All right, what's your main takeaway?
Keep doing what I'm doing, but have the mindset to know to stop beating myself up like I always do. And just to really, keep my head down and focus on my business and just not giving up. And I've never had the thought of giving up, but I was like, I would just really love to hear what Sarah would say. And the mindset that I have where I'm like, the ROI is not there, like I'm not contributing, but I know I need to build, but I know I need to produce. So I just really appreciate your feedback and, seeing what I can do, especially coming out of a line and seeing where that goes.
Awesome, awesome, Katie. Yeah, people underestimate, they overestimate like what they should be making in their first year and their year. But like, gotta give yourself 3 years here. 1 year to learn the business, learn about yourself, another year to like get good at it, right? And then the third year to really explode. So you're not off base. And it's just that most people have a W-2 mindset and that very well could be your fiance. And so things that you can do to help your fiance, number one, besides from putting money in the bank account, like being successful with our sales system, is to talk about why you're doing this and the benefits of you being able to do this and say, man, if I had a job, I wouldn't be able to do X, Y, or Z, right? If I had somebody else owning my own time. So it's just a reminder, it's just a constant like reminder of talking yourself back into why we're doing this. But you've got this. I'm so excited for you and I wish you the best at Align.
I'm really looking forward to it.
Awesome, awesome. Well, give the summers a big hug for me and I will look forward to seeing you at the next hot seat.
Yes, thank you so
So,
much,
yeah,
Sarah. It
thanks
means a
for
lot.
coming. You bet. I always get so energized from coaching to our system. I love it. So thank you so much for showing up. Each and every one of you hot shots and the 18 of you that are still with me 2 hours later. I hope everybody grabbed that in the chat bar, by the way. Did everybody grab that text? Okay. All right, good. Love y'all. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.